What's happening, you peeps? How you doing? Oh my gosh, it looks like someone broke their tape measure. How sad. Somehow my father-in-law would look for a way to repurpose this. Anyway, this whole side is all sheathed up. Is it sheathed or sheeted? Because I've heard people say sheeted. This is, the sheeting is on, or the sheathing is on. I don't know. If you know, let me know. But this is some good progress. I'm just gonna. That's how I usually walk into people's houses, through the window, rough openings. So that's all done. They did this room. This is the sauna room, and this I'm gonna explain how this is gonna work. It's a shop, according to the blueprints and according to the county. But what we're gonna use this for is, there was a window here in the middle, but I said let's make a door, and it will be a full view door over here, and then in this corner we're gonna frame out later. We're gonna frame out what will be a sauna room, and then the rest of this space is gonna be used as like basically kind of like a second guest bedroom, that sort of thing. This is gonna have its own bathroom, which is also awesome. One thing I noticed when I got here is again, ain't nobody know how to use a tape measure. Like, I'm like, wait a minute, that should be in the wall. That's the sink drain. Why isn't it in the wall? It's like 5-6 inches away from the wall. This is also, instead of 15.5 inches from the wall, it's like 17.5 inches. Or no, sorry, instead of 12.5 inches from the wall, it's 17.5 inches. It's like 5 inches off. So I called the plumber. I'm like, yo, man, your plumbing's off. It didn't fall into the wall. And the toilet drain is like 5 inches off. What's up? He's like, oh, really? All right, well, I'll just come and fix it. I'm going to have to just bust up the concrete in that area, move the plumbing over, and kind of concrete and smooth it out. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, thankfully we're not just doing concrete floors. So we're gonna have a cover, like it'll probably be tile in that bathroom or something, to cover that up. But what the point is, remember, we got PEX radiant tubing down here in the floor, and this slab is about, I don't know, 5.5 inches thick. It's hard to tell because just depending on where the gravel was and what the grade was at the gravel, it's anywhere from 4 inches thick to 5.5 inches thick in some areas. But I'm like, dude, that means you got to be super careful. He's like, oh yeah, we're gonna be super careful. Take it, chip at it a little bit at a time, and make sure we don't bust any of that PEX. I'm like, okay, because I'll know. I got pressure in the lines, buddy. I do. It's in there. So there's still pressure in the lines, just so that way I know. There's my manifold. That way I know when the guys are shooting down these man, what are they called? Freaking thingy-mabobs. I forget what they're called. I don't know, whatever, it'll come to me when I'm driving home. Anyway, I don't know who's over there. But when they're shooting those down, I was also like, hey, I got PEX, remember? And they're like, okay, so we'll use a smaller nail that's only going to penetrate about 1.5 inches, which is fine, right? So they're safe, and nothing so far has been penetrated, which is awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Otherwise, man, that's crazy. New footings are dug. Crazy thing is, though, what is that, a cat? Oh, you're not gonna be able to see that, and I can't zoom. Yeah, that's a cat. Anyway, new footings are dug here, but I just realized that the old footings right in the corner there, I had rebar that was still sticking up out of the ground so that I could use that as the ground, right? The grounding rod. And now I don't have that. So now I got to figure out a way to ground this building. I'm assuming I can probably just either drill a hole deep enough and send grounding rod down into the ground, something. I don't know exactly what. I don't know exactly how that's going to work. But, and see, this is what happens when you can't, like, it's just, there's so much that, like, well, number one, this isn't normal, like, right? We weren't supposed to be digging up 2 feet of extra concrete because somebody doesn't know how to use a tape measure. And we weren't supposed to cut off the grounding rod because I'm like, okay, we have a grounding rod, great. And then that's done. Like, that's, you check that off the list of things you have to worry about. And then something like this comes along, that's not on your mind anymore, and they cut it off and they throw it away. So I gotta go find either, I might be able to leverage, there was rebar, well, that's I don't know, there was rebar sticking out of the ground in these old footings somewhere, like right here. But these are just sitting in vertically, not necessarily tied into the horizontal rebar that's going in all, around all the footings. So I don't think we can necessarily leverage those. So I might have to just, plunge in some new grounding rods outside of the building, have it kind of come in through the side, something stupid like that. But and that's the kind of stuff, that's just the kind of stuff you just can't account for, it seems like. So I don't know. I do not know, man. I do not know. So anyway, it's a beautiful night. The weather is amazing. And I don't know. I mean, we're getting it done. I told, and this is what I did. I called the plumber guy to tell him about this. He's like, okay, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, I want you to go and double check everything you did at our house, right? Because our house is right over here. If you're new to the channel, I mean, I guess it's a good time. You're probably like, what's going on? If you're new to the channel, this is the Barndominium that we're building. I'm building it for my in-laws. They're gonna live in here, and then that is our house. We are planning on actually finishing up the Barndominium, and then my family, was going to move into there for a short time while we then finish up this. And so we're kind of, we're working on it. But I'm like, yo, plumber man, come check out the plumbing and double check your plumbing is going to fall into the walls over here, because I'm like I'm not doing that, let's just measure twice, cut once, right? Or measure twice and plumb once. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so that's that. I don't know. It's like you gotta be a hawk, it seems like, because nobody's measuring and nobody's thinking, and I don't know. I'm not a GC, so it's like these things are not just like constantly flashing in my mind to remind me. So it's like, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, I'm talking too much. I didn't get any footage of them today because I wasn't out here of them building any of these walls. So I just came to double check things and see how things were, so I knew kind of what the next steps were. And they're probably going to be obviously waiting for this to dry today, and tomorrow they will most likely start framing on it. I'm gonna shoot a text over to the framer, because concrete guy said basically, hey, don't bolt, don't tighten your bolts and these J bolts too tight. Just kind of hand tighten them for now and come back later to tighten them once this kind of fully cures. Just so those J bolts don't come up out of the concrete or anything, or their integrity gets compromised. So anyway, short video, just an update, what's going on. Follow along. I don't care. I guess, I don't know. I'm trying to hit like 1 million subscribers by Thursday. So, share the video with your friends and everybody, so we can make that happen. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Anyway, y'all take it easy. Peace.